Hi all, welcome back to Any Match in Ardennes, playing the Allied Solo. This is my take 2, and we're on the 17th part 11. Right, just came straight back there. Main reason being, I'm not quite sure if I've got enough time to do a whole German impulse, but so that was the reason I cut that part as a sort of shorter part. But let's just move right in. There's nothing I've seen that was wrong in part 9. That's not to say that there was mistakes made. And part 10 there, I've not quite watched it all back yet. So let's just move on with part 11 then. And it is a German impulse, right? They've not got as many cards left now. Shall we count? Yeah, let's have a count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So only 7 cards left. We've only got 1 card, and it is the 5th Corps card with the Corps artillery, but we've got 2 units to deploy, so I'm pretty sure that's what's happening. Right, let's have a German impulse. Right, we get the 85th Corps, and 1st SS. Great. Well, it's just as well we put something into a pomp. It's probably going to be coming under threat now as well. I thought that card had gone as well. Did I not just say that last part, I think? Because we just had the primary card, didn't we? Anyway, no primary card. This has got a value of 3 though. This has only got 2, so that goes in the support card box. That is going to be the impulse. We will check for an event. Right, we've got bridge engineers again. Actually, I think. Oh, sure, we're going to get one of these bridges this time. Right. Let me see. Event, bridge engineers repair or destroy bridge or build a new bridge. There's probably no need to look at building new bridges again anyway, but I think the priority is to build first check for destroyed bridges. So it looks like one of these 2 could be repaired. Not this one because there's an allied unit here. Although, there's not allied zone of control across any side of these bridges anyway. Well, what does it need? Repair a destroyed bridge, build a new bridge, across the river hex side within 1 hex of a supply German unit. Both hexes bordering the hex side must be free of allied control. Well, actually, no, this one's... Right, this one doesn't work then, because that is exerting control into that hex. Both hexes bordering the hex side must be free of allied control. Well, yeah, that one's not able to be done because of that 9th Armoured unit then. Because he's exerting a zone of control into that hex there. And at least one of those hexes must be in German supply. Well, that would work. German units negate allied zones of control in the hex they occupy for this purpose. Oh, I see. If we had a German unit in there, it would negate that zone of control from that allied unit. Is that right? German units negate allied zones of control in the hex they occupy for this purpose. Yeah, but there's no German unit in either of these hexes. I mean, it does just say unit, and so I don't think we can count that detachment as anything. Okay, so I think that one doesn't count. However, this one, you can see that there's no allied zone of control in that hex or that hex, and German supply. At least one of these hexes must be in German supply. Well, in actual fact, that one's in German supply too. Traces across the river and away. That one's in German supply. It's away. Yeah. These bridges at the back here are German bridges. As far as I'm aware, that's a German bridge, isn't it? Yeah, I think it states at the beginning, isn't it? It's just these ones. Well, actually, no, these were German-controlled bridges, weren't they? I made a mistake with that. In fact, I've always made a mistake with that. I've always thought these were Allied control because they're blown bridges. But that's not the case. They are actually German-controlled bridges. So as soon as I repair that, it becomes a repaired bridge, but it also becomes German. I'm going to put a blue cube in its place. So I think I'm going to repair this one If a bridge is eligible, repair it. If more than one, repair the bridge board. Well, I don't think this one is repairable, and I know this one is not, because the Allied units in there. Is that right? Yeah. And this one would have needed a German unit and this hex. That's right. Okay. So this is getting played for bridge engineers to repair this bridge. So that card's now gone. And we're going to replace... Right, that's went flying somewhere. I'll get that later, hopefully. Not leave it there and the dogs get it. I know that they're up here very often. Right, so that becomes a now repaired bridge, and it's also German controlled. And yeah, that's that event carried out. Okay, good stuff. Right, so moving on. Back to the actual impulse. Right. 23rd would be a special event, ground freeze. Well, it's not the 23rd, it's the 17th. We're not on to the 20th yet, or we'll be replacing points, repairing things. So we're going to activate all units in the core. First SS. Yeah, jolly good. Not. Right, let's see what's going to happen. I've had a wee accident in Bastone there. Right. So what we got, well, the bulk of things in here, but then we've got these here. And right away, if we hadn't taken Trois Ponts there, they would have just moved in. It's quite possible they're going to move round about it. Well, we shall see. Right, so it's just there and there that we've got. And the Vonderheide can't do anything, can it? No. Right. Okay, no roadblocks. Let's check. Location objective marker. Where is it? It's on Trois Ponts, isn't it? Is it? Or is that the... yeah, I think it is. Yeah, 6 Panzer Army West. Oh, there is a unit within 2. So hang on, that must be only in its second position. Trois Ponts. So, second objective placement. So the third objective placement, we're going to roll a die for this. Yeah, and remember, if any German unit is proximate to the marker or within 2 hexes of the marker, roll the die. Well, he's within 2 hexes of the marker. Okay, so we're going to roll for that to move this. It's probably not a huge biggie, but I might adjust it. That might make a difference. It's a 6. It's probably middle of the road. I want to say they're 1 to 6, aren't they? Yeah. So the third objective, let me just squeeze that. There you go there, just in case. Yeah. That's the third objective placement. Trois Ponts is the objective marker. Current hex, it's on Trois Ponts. We rolled a 1 to 6, so it's going to go 0319 west. Now I want to say there's an errata with one of these numbers, but I'm sure we'll see it because it'll just stand out as being not the right hex. 0319 west is here. So it's across the Meuse. Okay, so I'm going to move the 6 Panzer Army objective marker, staying on its west side, to 0319 there. Yeah, what is the one that's wrong then? Because I think there's actually not 0117, it's not that. 0319, that's the one we've just done. Oh, I can't remember then. I can't remember. I think there's one of them that's not right. But okay, well that's went a bit further north now from where it was, so that might push these guys up further. But they're still gonna try and do their thing. Okay, moving on. Movement methods. So enter an empty allied VP hex would be the first one. Like I say, if this was unoccupied still, I'm wanting to. There's none up there. Let's cover. Um, I was just looking at Spa there though, but I don't think. Yeah, they're not in a row. They're still in the woods, and because that unit's there, I don't think they make it in it. 1, 2. If that unit wasn't there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, but if that unit wasn't there, they'd be in there. And then going up the road here through Malmedy, Piper. Piper's too far back, and he's not actually connecting that road as well. So Spa's not reachable either. Manhays, yeah, out of bounds. Yeah, no, so we're not getting a special move still. Closer objective next to VP Hex, however. So we'll move to a hex with closer to units army objective and adjacent to an ally VP Hex. This is done in ascending order. So Piper, well, he can clearly move adjacent to Veal Sam and get closer to his army objective. I want to say he might be able to get adjacent to Trois Ponts. Maybe not. That's 3. No, he can't. Yeah, it's the problem is the roads are there, and that, even that unit staying where it is. Well, see, if I'd retreated that into there, this guy would have a field day, wouldn't he? Well, they would have advanced into there, and then he would be up here somewhere. So maybe leaving that there was a good thing, maybe. Oh, he certainly can just move in beside that lair unit. Again, it's not possible to reach these 2 hexes. Oh, I can see. Yeah, it's not. And he can't get adjacent to Trois Ponts. I don't believe. No, you can't go up that road either, Grant, because of that unit there. Forgot about that guy. Okay, so is he just going to step in beside that lair unit? I think he might. I think he might just be doing that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. I was just pausing, thinking about it there. Just felt strange, I suppose. But now remember, he's a 3-stepper, but that's only 5 steps in the hex. So I think he moves there. He's getting 1 hex closer to his army objective, moving adjacent to an allied VP hex. Now he's not coming across the river, and there's no empty hexes adjacent to the allied unit, so he can't adjust. Remember, well, there's no empty hexes that any of these units can reach, shall we say. So okay, that's selector number 1. Right, number 2, well, he'll be able to do something as well. He's going to look at Trois Ponts though. Again, he could just move into there and that's it. He's getting close to his army objective adjacent to an ally VP hex. Can he do anything else clever? I don't think he can, because he can't go back up that road, like we said. And he can't get up around. This is crossing the Unbridged River, so yeah, it looks pretty straightforward, Grant. He's going to go there. Again, with movement method 2. Now mind, they are bound by restrictions, but I don't see anything being broken by the 2 moves. Move to closer to unit's army objective adjacent to allied DP hex. Yep. Selector number 3. Where is 3? Right, 3 is the way up. Well, hang on. You're remember, you're not on 10 to 13 yet, Grant. I suppose I'm looking at them. Yeah, there's no point looking at this guy. In fact, he's already adjacent. And he's surrounded. He's not moving anywhere. Well, let's just look at the ones that can make movement method 2. So 4. Yeah, I mean, he's just going to step in as well, isn't he? And unfortunately, they are both going to be cross river, and you can't reach any of the empty hexes. You can't even get to this. Now, hold on here. Just check something I always forget about bridges. Yeah, I was watching back on my old playthrough and I made a comment about it would have been nice if the German unit activations, page 24, rule 9, the very start of 9, step 1 says remove allied roadblock markers adjacent to active German units. I think I added in at the time, I would have liked to have seen something added in there where it was step 2 or in addition to that to say check any bridges adjacent to active units. Something like that, you know, so, because I forget, it's something you kind of forget, well, I've been forgetting quite a lot. And then you come back and you say, oh, that bridge, that should be a German bridge now, and you're not sure, you know. Anyway, there was no first SS unit started adjacent to bridges, right, okay. Right, back to where we were. So Unit 4 is going to come in as well, beside Unit Selector number 2, is he? Yeah, getting closer. Like I say, we can't get into an empty hex. He can't adjust anyway. So I'm just going to put him underneath. You know, he can't adjust. He can't get into any of the other hexes. But he is still achieving getting closer to his army objective and adjacent to an ally VPX. Number 5, is he going to get there? I don't think so. Well, hold on. No, he can't. There's no room there, and that wouldn't be getting closer to his army objective anyway. 3. Oh, hang on. Is that just broken? Yeah, it is. He can get in there. Well, he's going to go there, Grant. 3 into the woods. That is 3 into the woods, isn't it? For mechanised, yeah. And 2 into broken. He's not breaking zone of control. Does something come from there? I'm just looking again at a 2 there. Which would be a detachment. I think they were both in there, weren't they? Well, actually, he can, rather than go 3, 4, 5, he can actually go 4, 5 and take that as a detachment. And he's getting closer to his army objective. And adjacent to an ally VP hex. Again, can't adjust. He's adjacent to an allied unit, but he can't adjust. There's no hex available, but we will leave a detachment there. Alright, so the last unit, well, down here anyway, is selector number 8. He's not going to be able to achieve this though, because the Piper's a 3-step unit, we've got 5 steps in there, so he can't just step into there. We've got 6 movement though, but no. You can't move adjacent to an ally. Oh, nah. I was going to say he could move into there. That's not getting closer. Remember, his army objective is moved up there. So him coming back into there is not in there. That's not going to be closer, is that? Let me count them out just to be sure. Yeah, he's 13 away there. That's 13 away. That's 13 away, and that's full. That'll be 12 away, but that hex is full. Not quite sure if he could have made it right round there. Probably could have actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, he couldn't. No, because he couldn't go in there. Yeah. No, but anyway, it's full. Why do I do that? Why not just stick with you can't move in there, Grant? It's full. Oh well, I suppose if these were active, then you've got to, consider that they might move, but they're not active. So. Right, so I don't think he can do movement method 2 then. Right, let's move on to the next movement methods. Can anything be surrounded? Can we cause surround on anything? I don't think there's any cause surround. These units are surrounded. This is surrounded as well. Although he's got adjacent allied unit, but he is surrounded. This guy's not, but I can't do anything about that because this guy's surrounded. He can't move. The best we could get is something into there. which doesn't surround either that or that. So this guy's already surrounded. We can't get around the back of that or anything. So yeah, I'm not seeing any surround situations. Open supply line's not happening yet. Right, the infantry moves. Right, where is the infantry then? Well, it's all up here somewhere. That's mechanized. Right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 bracketed units there. Let's bring them up top now. So we've got 3 bracketed units in total, or is there 4? No, 3. 2, 4. There's 6 units in total though. They're infantry. Move adjacent to Allied VP Hex. See, yeah, that can happen. Elsenborn, is it Elsenborn? Yeah. So these units, well, we can move from this hex into there. So move adjacent to Allied VP Hex. Move active infantry units each to a hex adjacent to an Allied VP Hex. And then it goes on, a unit starting adjacent to an Allied VP Hex. Well, there's no units starting adjacent to Elsenborn that are infantry units. Right? So this is an ascending order as well. So we've got 9, 15, 13, and then 3 bracketed units. So 9, 13, and 15. So 9 wants to look at it first. He can do it actually. He's adjacent here though. So he's going to have to go out and in. So it's 1, 2 breaking zone of control and 3 back in into Bullingen. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So what that's going to achieve is they're going to gain this fuel marker. This goes up in the calendar, right? Let me come back to that. So he's going to go 1, 2 breaking zone of control, 3 back into Bullingen, taking Bullingen. 1, 2, 3. And that is just a broken, it's not a forest, is it? No, it's just broken. And that is, it was an ascending order, right? So he's first to do that, okay? Let's deal with that fuel marker. Okay, page 57, 13.52, fuel depots. 3 fuel depot markers with yes on the hidden side. Yeah, they've all got yes on them. We set them up. You don't use the nose. Unless you're playing as the Germans yourself. Yeah. Our 3 fuel depot markers are placed on the map at the start of play. When a German unit enters a hex with a fuel depot, remove the marker from the map, place it on the earliest date on the calendar without a fuel marker, and after the current date. Right, so hang on. On the earliest date on the calendar without a fuel marker and after the current date, but not earlier than December 20th. Once placed in the calendar, a fuel depot remains there for the rest of the game. And then, if the current calendar date is a fuel depot marker, do not conduct fuel checks for German units throughout the day. Yeah, that's really good for them actually. I mean, you know, the thing is, that's one of the ones that it gets placed there, and that's your luck, innit? So hang on, but not earlier than December the 20th. Right, so it's going to go December the 20th then, because we've not got one up there. This is the first one they've got, isn't it? Is it? Yeah. So that's 17, 18, 19. Stand up. Dodgy knee then. 17, 18, 19, 20. So it's in there. So I'm just going to put that in there. Yeah, and if we get another one, then it's going to go on the 21st. Or if they get another one, should I say. And then the next one, there's 3 of them, would go on the 22nd. However, if they don't get they don't get another one, and we end up, we're on the 22nd right now, and then they got it would go on to the 23rd. I think that's how it works. Okay, back to our moon methods, and let's it back on that, Grant. Right, yeah, because there's more of these can make this move, isn't there? Use the hex adjacent to an allied VP hex. Yeah. And that, I think that is the only hex that they can get to, because you can see that clearly can't move from there to there because it's zone of control, zone of control. So the next unit would be 13. Nah, these aren't going to make it, are they? 13 would be next, because he's breaking zone of control as well. Down the road, 1, 2. Yeah, he's not able to get there. So let's forget about him. So 15 would be next. He can do exactly what 9 done. Again, I'll just put him down the bottom. So there's still a space in there for one more. So I think one of the bracketed units is going to go in, isn't it? From here. So that's 9, 15, that's 13, that's 36, but he can't reach either. 34, 32. So 32 as yeah, 32 is going to move in too. I'll put him down the bottom. He just moves straight in. There's no detachments. I can see that they can go and grab as well. So that is now that hex full, and they're all adjacent to an allied VP hex with movement method 5. Okay. Right, hang on. Okay, I'd moved on to movement method 7. Infantry move adjacent to allied unit or town to which no non-bracket German infantry unit is adjacent. I mean, this guy's only got a mechanised unit adjacent to him. Even though it's mechanised infantry, it doesn't count. It doesn't count. I've been through that before. It's not an infantry unit, that. Anyway, so, but he can't reach. You can see the zone of control there. So it'd be 1, 2, 3. And if he could have got into that hex, he would have. So I think that's the only unit that's not got an infantry unit adjacent to it. That's close to these guys, you know. These have all got things, so. Enter town occupied by German armour. Ooh. No, the town's here. So the Allies still have the town. Oh, actually, that's a town. Bullingen's a town, but it's now full up of infantry anyway, so that's fine. I don't think there's any towns that require no. And then relief detachment doesn't start till the next day. Right, move method's 10 to 13 now. Okay. Right, well, 1 and 2 have moved. 3's up here, but he can't move. He can't move, so that's fine. The only one that didn't move down here is 8. This was a where unit, right? Okay. So 8. I've got 6 there. 3 can't move. 13, that's a bracketed unit as well. And that's 2 bracketed units? No. Oh, I've got 11 there. Let's put them back up the top. So 6. I'm not so sure he's going to move. Well, he could move. He's not going to break surround, because they two hexes always surround us still. I mean, there's no, well, there is an arrow. He can't move via arrows. Can he get close to his army objective? He's in a horrible bit. Well, I say a horrible bit. This has been a burden to them, actually. And yeah, I want to say I stacked him like that. They don't start with 2 units like that, do they? I put that unit in there. I think that's been a good move, actually. I mean, okay, they're probably going to have a go at this again. So I don't think selector number 6 can move. Yeah, I don't think he can move adjacent to his. Well, hold on here. No, I think we've tried to move him back the way as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, actually, hold on. It's possible because of the army objective marker moving slightly north that hex might be closer. Let me count things out. Yeah, I had a feeling that might actually happen. He can get breaking zone of control 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's 17 away there. That hex is 16 hexes away. So, yeah, he's going to do that. That doesn't seem right, does it? Well, we've said that sometimes there's going to be little bits that don't look like the best moves for the Germans, but they get to cheat a bit, so let them do it. Well, I'm not going to override it. If that's the rule, so I'm not going to override that for sure. Just want to make sure I'm getting it right. So move closer to army objective. Move to a hex closer to, not the same distance from, the unit's army objective. Now, it wants to do this whole 3-to-1 thing, but it can't get any, because of the terrain here, it's 4 movement for it to break zone of control in into there. And that's it. It can't move anywhere else, so it's just got to back up. It can go in there for 2, but then it's 2 back down into there 4. It can't come around. The only way it can come around is with this road. Yeah, he's doing this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's got 1 hex closer to his army objective. And hold on. Would this hex be 1 hex closer to Grant? No, I don't think he can't get in there, because it would be 1, 2, 3 to break zone of control, and then it's another 4 to come back, because that's a forest. Yeah, no, he can't go into there, because that might be closer as well, and then adjacent to allied units with the whole 3-to-1 advantage. He can't move to a hex closer to his army objective and do all that 3-to-1 advantage. I mean, ideally he probably wanted to stay there, but he's got a move he can make. He's going to do it. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, I feel like I want to watch this back and make sure I'm getting things right. But so that was 6. I want to say the next one is 11. No, I'm lying. 8. Back down here. So can't move the arrows. Just take them into there and stop. Well, actually, can't move into there. But he can certainly move closer to his army objective. Now, we know these hexes aren't closer. We know he can't fit in there. We know he can't fit in there. He can't fit in there. I'm not quite sure he could reach there anyway, but just by moving from there to there is getting him closer. The thing with him is he can go 3, 6 because he's got the 6 movement. Right, there's no reserves for the first SS. I sort of think he's going to move into here, but just looking for the 3-to-1 advantage, but like I say, because of that situation here, you take into account all German units adjacent. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about, because all these 58 core units are adjacent, so there's definitely a 3-to-1 advantage on that. But he can't get close to his army objective and adjacent to that. Or he would have done it already, because that's the VP hex. Yeah, so I was wondering about him getting, because he could go 3-6 into there. That could well be closer and adjacent to that. but the strength there is only 3-5 against 4. Well, technically, if you're taking everyone by the rules, Grant, these, no, they couldn't. They can't get adjacent. They can't get into this hex. Is infantry underneath, is it? 1, 2... Nothing can get into there. This guy's struggling because he's got... It's 4 into there for him to move. Yeah, I don't think we can get a 3-1 advantage on that, or he might well have moved it. This guy might well have moved into this hex. So, now hold on, Grant. Let's look at this. It might not be. Surely that's not closer than that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can reach that though. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can easily reach that. Let me count out. Well, you can count it out yourself if you want. No, it's not closer. It's only 1 further away, but it's not closer. That one's he's 13 away from where he is now. That hex is 14 away. And I mean, although he would have the 3-1 advantage, but on that unit, it's not closer. So. Yeah, I think I'm running out of time now, so I'm going to take a call and say he's going to move. That's 1 hex closer. That's going to be 2 hexes closer. He can reach that hex. 3 into there. Another 3 movement into there. That's 6 movement, which is what he's got. Right, I think he's happy. Although I feel like I do want to watch this back before I commit myself. Hopefully I can do that before I do anything more. I think I will. I'm not sure I'm going to get a shot for a few days. But you never know. So next is number 11. Arrows, no. Closer to, yes. He may well just move into there because you're going to get a 3-1 on that. This is 3, 5, 6 strength, I want to say. So it's 2-1. Ooh, it's maybe not going to get 3-1. Well, yeah, you are because these guys haven't moved yet. So that going into there would increase the strength by another 2. That'd be 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 to 3. And then with the possibility of that going in there, 9 to 3, and that's the 3-1, right? So, yeah, you know what? Because I've already said him moving in there is 4 movements. So that's moving 1 hex closer to his army objective. Adjacent to an allied unit, 3-1 advantage. Yeah, he's in there. Yeah, because he can't. It's not even as if he could go in here. He could go in there, but that's not getting closer, and then he's got to stop. So yeah, I'm pretty comfortable with that one, sort of. Right, 13 is next. Well, he won't be able to move with arrows. Hey, well, he might, actually. His primary arrow is this way. He will. That's strange. Okay. So his primary arrow is down south. You see that? Let's make sure it's a wee bit far up the map there. Primary arrow is southwest. The secondary arrow is west. So primary arrow into there and then primary arrow into there. So he's going to go 1, 2 down the road, breaking zone of control, and then 3 into there. Following his primary arrows. Now hold on, Grant. He doesn't need to finish there, does he? So that's his movement, his full movement. Can he extend it? No, because he's gonna extend it adjacent to an allied unit. Yeah, so he is stuck there. He is stuck. Sorry, I zoomed right in there. Let me come out a little bit. Yeah, you can't extend it. Right, that was unit number 13. So I've got 28 next. Let's try to wrap this up quickly. I'm not going to do any checks for attack. I'm just going to make this another short 40 odd minute part because I need to get going. 28 arrows. No. Well, primary arrows into there for 2. Actually, you know what? He can. Because he's only got 4 movement. It's 2 movement into broken. And then there's not a road there. He's primary arrows into there. It's 2 movement into broken again. And he can't use his secondary arrow there. So he's going to come along into there as well. With arrows. I'm making a right mess of things here. Yeah. So that guy was there. There's no road. And it's 2 broken hexes he's moving into. For mechanised, it's 2 movement into each. So 1, 2, 3, 4. He can't extend that because he's already adjacent to an allied unit. Doesn't want to finish adjacent to an allied unit, but he's no choice, and he spent all his movement anyway, so that's good. Right, I've got 34 and 36. 34 arrows is no good because there's 1 into there. Move closer to the army objective. Yeah, so he's going to come in here as well. It's bracketed, but he's going to come in there. Just got that last bracket unit to do, I think. 36. Right, hold on here, Grant. No, zone of control's still there. That's fine. Right, not showing you that. Just wondering about that West Wall hex. Right, hang on. Have units come out of there? I think so. I'm pretty sure there should be a detachment in there, yeah? Hopefully I'll pick up on that if I'm wrong. Right, 36. He can't move with... Oh no, he can move with arrows. But hold on here, hold on. If he moves away, is this guy going to be surrounded still? He's not, is he? That's a problem. Although this doesn't exert a zone of hang on. No, he's not in a West Wall hex. Do they exert zone of controls by sitting in a West Wall hex? I think they do. But he's not in a West Wall hex. But if he was to move away to here, then this unit at the moment these units are surrounded. But if he moves away, I'll tell you what, no, it's not. Then this unit's not surrounded anymore. He can move into this hex. So does that not mean he's just going to stay? He's going to have to stay there then, Grant. I think so. Because even if he moves here, alright, can't. Well, yeah, he can go out and in. And by the way, that was something that got confirmed. I think I talked about this before, about John Brown in my previous playthrough brought up the fact that it talks about you've got to check for the conditions on every hex of German movement. And John was right to bring that up because the way it's worded suggests that every hex you move, you've got to check if any of the restrictions in 9.21 apply. And he wasn't wrong to sort of bring that up. And both myself and Martin were like, oh, right, you're right. But John Butterfield did confirm that that wasn't what it was intended, although it was worded that way. And that was one of the questions that Martin got clarification on. What is that? And John confirms. Where is that? The restrictions on 9. This is John Butterfield's reply to the. I'm not going to go into the big question, but just basically what I've said there. The restrictions on 9.21 need to be met at the end of a German unit's move. That statement in 9.21, the one I'm talking about that John Brown brought up, that talks about every hex of German movement, is trying to say that the restrictions apply to situations that are created during German movement as illustrated in the 9.21 example. In another example, if a German unit enters a town during its move, it would then be subject to 9.21 at the end of its move. And then, yeah. So what John Butterfield's saying is the wording on that was meant that if a German unit moved into a town, took occupation of the town, and carried on moving, it would then need to make sure it wasn't going to break restrictions on the time that it's just took. But it wasn't worded very well on that, you know. So anyway, yeah. What I'm saying here is that what was I saying? I can't mind. I've lost my train of thought now. Yeah. I think. Was I talking about going out and in? And while I was going out, I might have been leaving this unsurrounded and coming back in and then surrounding it. Doesn't matter as long as it happens. As long as at the end of my move, he's still surrounded, that guy. Yeah? But I don't think he is. If we move out and in to there, he's not, because this doesn't exert his own control and this isn't a town or a Westwall Hex. I think the Westwall Hex work. He's not surrounded. But while that unit sits there, he's surrounded because he's in the hex. Although he's a bracketed unit, he's in the hex. Okay, I'm going to call it that because I'm running out of time. I'm going to call that another short part, and next time I come back, after I've checked all these things that I've been rushing through there, I'm going to then check for attack determination and stuff like that. Okay, it might be a few days before I get another chance, but we'll see. I'm going on holiday next week as well, so. But the episodes have been few and far between just now anyway, and it's going to continue like that. But I'm enjoying it when I get here, when I get the chance to play. So anyway, I'll be back when I'm back. Cheers.